Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful Thursday. I got a good one for you today. Looks like Krista Freeland was doing her rounds in Toronto, visiting some new apartment building complexes, and doing a couple of press conferences over there. So, let's see what Miss Krista Freeland has for us today. So, with no further ado, let's get into it.
We acknowledge that the land we are gathered on today is a traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of many nations, master plan community proudly developed by Concert Properties. Ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Chrystia Freeland, and James Maloney, our Member of Parliament for Etobicoke Lakeshore, welcome to the KIP District. This is a master plan community proudly developed by Concert Properties. My name is Kelly Wilson, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Development for Concert Properties. And we are honored to host this tour and this press conference. The KIP District currently includes 2 condominium buildings, totaling 569 condominium suites, and this 233-suite purpose-built rental apartment building, which was completed in May of 2023. For our third and final phase of our project here at KIP District, we'll be building a 416-suite condominium and another rental building which will contain 379 suites. Our goal is to launch that project, 2 towers, in sometime in 2025. Hope you enjoyed your tour of our beautiful 20 Samuel Wood Way project here this morning. And this building represents the 9th new purpose-built rental project that Concert has built here in Ontario. And it represents about 2,500 suites in our portfolio. I'm pleased to tell you that this building includes 70 affordable rental homes, due in large part to $7.6 million in financial incentives from the City of Toronto and a $73 million construction loan from the federal government, and that was through this CMHC's Rental Construction Finance Initiative program, for which we are very grateful. This site is a 5-minute walk from the TTC transit station.
So I just wanted to play the beginning and that part to show you where our money is going to and what a sheer waste our government is spending. So, okay, yes. Yeah, they've built 569 suites and got a loan of $73 million from the federal government and got a loan from the Toronto government of $7.6 million and could only afford to build 70. Unless I'm wrong, they could only afford to build 70 affordable homes in their 569. And unless, maybe if they were talking about, I know he was talking about, there was 2 buildings he's talking about right now. So the second building, he was, I believe, 233 suites. So if you meant in that 233 suite building, that one had 70 affordable homes, that's still terrible. So our government, we have a housing crisis going on, and our government acts all worried and, how terrible, or how they really care about it, yada, yada, yada. And they're giving these big builders $73 million, and they only build 70 affordable suites. And who even knows what an affordable apartment unit is in Toronto? Isn't a 1-bedroom there about $1,800 a month, not including utilities? that doesn't seem very affordable to me. So we can honestly just see the liberal government's plans for affordable housing just sinking right now. So good job, Chris Freeland. You're really helping us out there. Let's continue. I'm gonna skip this guy because he doesn't really have anything to say.
Okay, good morning. Um, I would just like to start by taking a moment to express our government's support, my personal support to everyone who has been devastated by the wildfires in Jasper. I really want to thank the first responders who are working so hard. I do want to point out that the federal government is providing matching donations to the Red Cross, matching donations from Canadians to support Jasper. We are also deploying more firefighting resources to Alberta and doing everything possible to support everyone in Alberta and across Western Canada who is dealing with these truly devastating wildfires. I know, you know, Jasper it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. It is a part of the memories, the family photo albums of so many people in Alberta and across Canada. And I think all of our hearts break when we look at those pictures. And so I really just want to say, first of all, to the people of Jasper, to the firefighters, you have a whole country that is with you, that is crying with you, but also really working hard with you to finish putting the fires out and to rebuild. I am also really glad.
You could really just sense the sincerity in her voice when she has that smirk on her face at the end when she's saying, "Oh, Canada's really, really with you." With Jasper, yada yada yada. It's like, sure, yeah, maybe you should put that slight smile away while you're saying all this. Yeah, it does seem like the federal government really cares when they're bringing in firefighters from Mexico, the United States, and Australia to help. So the firefighters in Canada don't have the and this isn't anything against the firefighters here in Canada. Like, I mean, they're awesome people. And if you are a firefighter here in Canada, ask me if I'm right, because I'm just assuming this from what I'm reading. Is from what I've read and what I've heard, they had to bring in people from Mexico, United States, and Australia to help with this fire because our federal government doesn't supply the Canadian firefighters who deal with these wildfires with enough funding for everything they need to deal with things like this. Like I said, in the comments, if you're a fighter, let me know if I'm correct, because I'm just speculating here off of what I read. So, but if we need people from like Australia to come to Canada to deal with this, I think that's an issue. Um, and another weird thing that I don't know if it's new with this government, and it really irritates me, and I don't know if it irritates anybody else. But I've never heard the concept of matching donations during an extreme event or during like a natural disaster, where the federal government would match the donations that Canadian citizens would donate. To me, that just seems like the federal government's trying to be cheap and save money. We're going through a recession here. Canadians hardly have enough money to feed themselves. 25% of Canadians are in poverty. And so they're still thinking that people are going to be donating in large amounts to Jasper when they can't feed themselves. That's ridiculous. This is what our taxes go to. So when a natural disaster happens, You can help the people who are devastated by losing everything that they have. But yeah, the government just matches it now. I think it's just a way for them to save money and say that they're doing something and well, what is it? Peacock.
Glad to be here in Etobicoke today with my friend and colleague, the MP for Etobicoke Lakeshore, James Maloney. As Jamie knows, I am always happy to come to Etobicoke. And in fact, I spend my Saturday mornings not very far from here because my kids go to Ukrainian school on Saturday mornings in Etobicoke. So I know firsthand what an amazing community it is. And I'm glad to be here with Kelly Wilson and the team at Concert Properties, who built the amazing rental apartment building that we're standing in today. As Kelly pointed out, and as Jamie recalls, this building and the great apartments that are here now that people are living in, and there are apartments still available for people to rent, are built. They exist in part thanks to the $73 million investment the federal government made through the Apartment Construction Loan Program. This is one of the buildings that makes up the KIP district. It is an award-winning community, and it has a mix of rental apartments and condos. What is really special about this community is it's been thoughtfully designed so people can have a good life here, so that you are close to the subway, so that there is green space, so...
Sorry, I just wanted to skip past the whole, oh, this is the most beautiful place ever, yada yada sort of stuff. Nobody cares.
I want to start by talking about the Bank of Canada's decision last week to cut interest rates for the second time in a row. Canada was the first G7 country to cut interest rates last month, and we are now the first G7 country to cut rates for a second time. This is really good news for Canadians, especially for homeowners who currently have mortgages and are looking at the renewal of those mortgages, and for first-time home buyers. We're on the right path, but we know we have more hard work to do.
So that's awesome that the Bank of Canada is lowering rates right now. Apparently, we've been through 6 months of low around 2% inflation. Well, I don't know how that could be, looking at the cost of everything and looking at my finances personally. I'm still seeing the cost of everything go up in my personal life. So apparently the Bank of Canada must be seeing something else other than from what normal Canadian citizens are seeing. I'm glad for the people's mortgages who are rolling over right now. My worry is that if I'm correct and this is all just this is kind of just, like I said, grandstanding, kind of just posturing, getting ready for these next 2 Quebec by-elections, trying to get Liberal votes, and then getting ready for next year during our election. Are they just trying to bring down rates as much as possible so when the Conservative, to try and get a new Liberal government, and if they don't, then a Conservative government goes in, and then we go into hyperinflation and a massive recession just happens. Because remember, if the Bank of Canada lowers interest rates too quick and people start borrowing a lot again, then inflation will go back up. So that's my worry here, is I don't see things around me and in my personal life, and at least like in the news, getting better and people getting richer. And that's why I don't understand these reduction in interest rates. I mean, I'm just a guy who rants on the internet about politics, so I'm not a financial officer.
our government is focused on delivering fairness for every generation. This very much includes making the dream of home ownership a reality for younger Canadians and for new Canadians. And we know that one of the biggest hurdles for home ownership for younger Canadians is qualifying for a mortgage and making sure that you can afford the monthly payments that come with it. That's why in our budget in the spring, we announced that we would be allowing 30-year amortizations on insured mortgages for first-time homebuyers purchasing newly built homes, like the condos that Kelly has been talking to us about that are part of this development. That, of course, includes townhomes and condos, like the condo that is being built right across the way from here. And I am very pleased to announce that starting on August 1st, on Thursday, lenders in Canada will officially be able to offer these 30-year mortgages. This means that 30-year mortgages will be available for applications to mortgage insurers on or after August 1st. And it means that first-time homebuyers will now have 30 years to pay off their mortgage instead of 25 years. That translates to lower monthly payments, so more younger Canadians can afford to pay that monthly mortgage on a new home. This is just one of several measures that our government is taking to help younger Canadians save for that first down payment and afford a home of their own. Our fiscally responsible plan has helped put the Bank of Canada in a position to lower interest rates for the second time in a row last week. Lower interest rates mean that mortgage payments will be more affordable, helping more Canadians get into the housing market to buy that first home of their own. Last year, we launched the tax-free First Home Savings Account to help Canadians save up to $40,000 tax-free towards the down payment on their first home. That money is tax-free in, tax-free out, and more than 750,000 Canadians have already started saving using the First Home Savings Account. At the same time, we're increasing the amount of your RRSP that you can put towards a down payment with a new homebuyers plan limit of $60,000.
I don't understand what she's talking about with, or I guess it's kind of easy to understand with this 30-year loan mortgages, and I guess the United States has these as well. But I don't understand why this is such a great thing, and she's saying this as this is awesome. We've brought in this 30-year mortgage. Now you can apply for that. And why should we shouldn't have to, especially like when you're going for a 30-year loan for a house, like an old bungalow in the city for $400,000. The only thing I can think of is because you'll need a 30-year loan if you can only put 5% down. Because I've been looking at a house right now, and back in the day, you were told, and back in my day, that was like what my parents told me, is you put 20% down if you're going to buy a house, because then you get the good mortgage rates. So that's not happening on a $400,000 house. You're never going to get that. That's like $20,000. Who has that nowadays? So the problem with this 30-year loan is it's really not going to make your payment go down too much. Maybe a little bit, maybe by about $100, but it'll keep you in debt for an extra 5 years. So unless it's you're just buying that home and staying there for the rest of your life, then it might not be the worst. And this First Home Savings Account, who has it? Okay, it's nice that you're tracking who's opening a savings account, but it's easy to open a savings account. you pretty much just have to call up a bank, so that shouldn't be something you're proud of. You should be tracking how much people are saving, how much per month on average are people putting away. That's what's important. And for the RRSP, like I said, with all of this stuff, it's great that we can go into our RRSP and take out $60,000, but that is all of your compounded interest in the beginning of your life, which is the most important part of your life. To start compound interest is in your 20s. You're taking that all out for a down payment on a house. That's extremely expensive. All of these things are not helping with bringing down the prices of housing. It's helping people afford to go into debt for expensive housing. That's how I look at it. You're just helping people afford to go into debt for an incredibly overly expensive house. And that's a terrible thing.
So thank you very much for being here today. It's really important for me to be sure that young Canadians who are looking to buy their first home know that starting on Thursday, that new 30-year amortization kicks in. Thanks for helping us get the message out, and I think we're all now ready to answer your questions.
And that's where I'm going to stop her today. I'm probably going to do her question and answer period tomorrow, just because it's going to get a bit long if I do, because it seems like we're only halfway through the video, and I think this is a lot of information to sort of digest for right now. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think about our housing plan and all of these different topics that Christopher Freeland touched on today. If you like this video, please subscribe. That would be awesome. I really appreciate it, and it helps the channel out a lot. And other than that, that's all I got for you today. Have a good rest of your week.